The honourable member for North Island, Powell River.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member from Foothills for bringing forward this private members bill. You know, for all of us as parliamentarians, private members' business is an opportunity for us to share our thoughts and our concerns about things that matter to us and the people that we represent. So I just want to acknowledge his work on this. Farming in my riding of North Island Powell River is an incredibly important part of the region that I serve. In my region, whether it be on the mainland or on Vancouver Island, we have a lot of farms. There's a lot of farms that are family farms, some that have been in the family for generations, and it's a proud history that we have in our region. This is important to all of us because our region, our area continues to be very concerned about food security because we are in communities that are isolated. If food transportation becomes an issue, research tells us that we have only 3 days of food in our area. And with some of our smaller islands, particularly some of our small islands, this timeline could be even smaller. We in our region have a lot of farms that produce both produce and livestock. So this is an issue that arises in my region. And I just want to say that I'm incredibly proud of the hard work that the many farmers do. For example, our region grows products that are wines and spirits. I think of the wonderful 40 Knots Winery and the Shelter Point Distillery, which have both won awards to recognize the high quality of their products. South End Farm Winery, which is on one of the islands in my region, where there are lovely wines, but there's also amazing spaces for enjoying the beautiful area and engaging with a small chicken coop as well. Gunther Brothers Meat Company, brothers who own this businesses, which was started by their grandfather and has gone through the generations that processes local meat in our communities. The Vancouver Island Bison Farm, I drive by there often and get to see the bison majestically walking along the fields. It's amazing in the morning when you see the mist rising and these beautiful bison, locally raised, grass-fed, and really a healthy product for our communities. Amara Farm, which is a family-owned organic farm, which provides a great amount of beautiful produce, but also important leadership in supporting people who are wanting to grow their own food, a lot of education. And then I think specifically of the Powell River region, where there are many tremendous small farms. There's a list provided online at the Powell River Farmers Agriculture Institute, and that list is significant. This organization also hosts a regular CD Saturday where local farmers gather and share seeds and information about what's happening in the region. So when I look at my riding, agriculture is very important, and I'm incredibly proud of that as well. So today, as we speak about Bill C-205, it specifically talks about farms with livestock and the fears that there are that outsiders who are unlawfully gaining access to the farm or properties could introduce contagions, thereby infecting animal populations and resulting in death and possible livestock culling. This is a serious concern, and I really appreciate the focus drawn to this. Several provinces have already introduced and have similar legislation. Some provinces are in the process of considering, so this is obviously a concern. One of the things that I think is important for us to address, though, is when we see people that are doing the work to expose animal abuse cases. This bill proposes some significant fines and up to 2 years of imprisonment. It does concern me because I think we need to find ways to protect farms and to protect the livestock while acknowledging that there is important work to be done around identifying when there are any challenges or treatment to livestock that is unethical in this country. So what I hope to see in this bill is when it goes to committee, if it goes to committee, that this will be addressed. Several years ago, we heard a terrible story, and I think this is an important one to talk about in this particular piece of legislation. Our office was called by a woman named Kathy from Port Hardy, who had 2 horses stolen from her property. Sadly, they were stolen and taken to a slaughterhouse, where under forged identification papers, they were slaughtered for meat. This was absolutely appalling. I can't imagine losing 2 beloved pets in this way. These are horses, they were connected to the family, and it was just a devastating outcome. 2 issues became very clear from this. First of all, CFIA knows that horses are not intended for the meat market and often contain steroids or medication that are not supposed to be in meat for consumption. So there seems to be a mismark here that we need to see addressed. And also, very importantly, equine information documents are easily forged, and this can open the doors for horses to be stolen and slaughtered under fraudulent ID. We have continued to work with Kathy and work with the federal government around this, and have actually been saddened and disappointed by the lack of engagement on government. We have heard from people across Canada that are having this experience. So this is something that's happening that I really hope that the federal government takes seriously and starts to address, because this is the loss of family members to these people. I also believe that in this House, all people here want to ensure the safety of livestock on farms while allowing for animal abuse cases to be uncovered. So this piece of legislation, I'm just worried about some of those key points that I think we need to see addressed. And I hope that if it does pass, that the committee really looks at these and makes sure that there's a more robust discussion about the inspection regime of the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. This is obviously something that's really important. Madam Speaker, I'm incredibly proud of all of the farmers across my riding. I hear from them frequently. I know they work hard to provide food, beverages, produce for our communities and for our region. I hope that if this does go to committee, that there's serious discussions of amending to make sure testimony is reflected. And I look forward to further discussions. Thank you, Madam Speaker.